Hi guys, thank you, David. I'm really glad to be here. It's funny because like so many people tell me about this deck on SlideShare. If you want to see it, the URL is bit.ly/getmobilegrowth. And yeah, so in this SlideShare, I shared a lot about all the learnings I had when I was working for Goodco, a startup in San Francisco. It was a mobile product that basically helped people find jobs that fit their personality. And so I took some of the content of this deck to make this one. My goal is to give you like some tactics that will help you acquire more users on your mobile application, then activate them, engage them, and then grow your mobile user base with virality, okay? So first, about acquisition, some tactics related to the App Store. So the App Store today, it's for Google and for like the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store, is 1.5 million apps available today. It's huge. You're just competing with all these people working really hard to get the product out and to acquire more users. So you really need to start implementing the growth mindset when you want to acquire users on the App Store. Today, the App Store is kind of like a black box. Apple and Google Play are kind of starting to open it, but it's really difficult to get data, like to A/B test stuff on it, and so I'm going to give you some ideas. So when someone lands on your App Store page, what matters most regarding the fact that are they going to download the app or not? First is description, then reviews, images, stars, and icon. So I'm going to give you some tactics to improve that. First, something that very few startups do, and I don't understand why, it's just A/B testing your App Store page. You're not going to only A/B test the icon, but you can also A/B test the name, the pictures you show, the description, and stuff. So you can do it yourself, building fake HTML pages that are going to look like the page on the App Store. And you can also use tools such as Store Maven, which is a paid tool. So, for instance, Tempo AY, which is a calendar app that has just got acquired recently, they built like many different HTML pages with different icons, different names, while they were in Canada. So they started to launch in Canada the beta because they didn't want to have press already. It was just like to do some A/B tests like that. So they spent some money on paid acquisition, and then they measured the results. So basically, it was like a fake App Store page, and when people will click on download, it will bring them to the real App Store page. So it's kind of weird as a user to experience it, but in the end, the goal for Tempo is to just to fake it, and if the user downloads the app in the end or not is not really something that matters. Now we're getting reviews. Reviews is like super important. For instance, so I got these figures from Apptentive. What you can see is that if you have less than 4 stars, half of the people won't even consider downloading your app. 3 stars out of 5, you could think it's okay. No, it's like this is terrible. You need to have like 4 stars minimum, maybe 5 if you're really good. But this is something you cannot fail. How do you manage to get 5 stars or 4 stars like that? You should optimize. You should ask the users who really love you to give you reviews on the App Store. How do you do it? First, you optimize the timing of the request. So at what time should you ask the user to give you a review on the App Store? First, you measure the user engagement. Is it someone who has been using my app for 1, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? You cannot ask that to someone who just downloaded the app. And also, it's interesting to try to link this moment when you're going to ask it to a happy moment that was just experienced. For instance, for a game, the guy just won, just passed the next level. Now can you give me a review? Again, the second thing you should optimize is the location of the request on the product. So it can be a pop-up, but you can also be a bit smarter. Maybe put it in the feed if you have a feed on your app. I also know startups that put, for instance, 5 stars on the menu. So like you have 5 stars and you click, they ask like, can you rate this app? So someone is going to click. If this person clicks on the first 3 stars, which means a low rating, they're going to ask the user to send an email for feedback. If the user clicks on 4 or 5 stars, they're going to bring him to to the App Store. So I already talked about the flow of requests. This is an example of Circa. For Circa, it's a push. So they're gonna ask, "Are you enjoying Circa?" Not really. Okay. So can you give us feedback? Yes, I'm enjoying Circa. Okay. Can you rate us in the on the App Store? So you cannot see the tools I've put. View, because they cannot see, like. Okay. Okay, well, whatever, it's fine. So the tools, okay, Hub, Shift, Attentive are tools you can use to build such flows in your app. Now we're featuring. So how do you get featured on the Apple App Store, on the Google Play Store? This is something that can really change the game for your application. For instance, there is Duolingo. Duolingo is an app to learn languages. I don't know if you have heard of it. So in 2013, they got 700,000 downloads. And on the last week, Apple selected the best apps of the year. They were part of it. They got 2.8 million downloads out of it. So like 80% of the downloads of the 2013 year happened in 1 week, thanks to the Apple featuring. So how do you manage to increase the chances, and how do you manage to get featured on the App Store? First, that's obvious, but like build a really beautiful app, amazing UX, amazing UI. Then, so this is like specific to iOS. It's my specialty actually. You need to use the latest iOS innovations. So implement an Apple Watch app, implement iOS Pay, Apple Pay, implement the Touch ID, because Apple, you need to think as Apple, and they want to show the people on the App Store that apps are really using the latest innovations from Apple, and that this is something getting big. Also be universal, so an iPhone and iPad app can increase the chances. iOS only is always better. And also like the relationship you have with the people managing the local app store, something really important. So you need to like get in touch with them early, so like 3-4 weeks before the launch, and you need to show them some screenshots and stuff. When I was working at Goodco in San Francisco, we had someone over there that gave us lots of feedback on our app and on the screens and stuff, and so we even made some changes because we really wanted to be featured. Activation. So I called it the golden minute. This is the first minute of usage of your app. So someone downloads the app, they haven't heard of it much. This minute is so important. This is the moment when someone is gonna be the most focused on your product. They are trying it for the first time. They don't have much prejudice on the app. They have some friends have maybe told them about it. Maybe they have found it on the App Store. You cannot miss that. And I know some people who are building companies in the Silicon Valley, and they focus half of the time of work is focused on the first minute. What is the first experience that we're gonna offer to a user? Because this is so important, because it's the first impression, and first impression lasts forever. It's key. Just to prove you that, 20% of your users will open your app only once. So 20% of the people you try to bring on your app so much, they're gonna open it only once. So you need to put that figure a bit lower. What's the goal of the onboarding? So the onboarding is the process from download to using the core of the product. There is like 3 main goals: motivating your users to get started. So you really need to be again pushy and like still giving argumentation. It's not because they haven't downloaded it that they get the value. You still need to repeat on that. Okay. Then you need to help them learn about the key features of the product that are gonna help them understand what is the core value of what you're offering. Basically, the goal of the onboarding is to bring people to the aha moment. So the aha moment is the time when someone is gonna get how amazing your product is. This is the moment when someone understands what is the core value of your product. So for instance, Facebook you've probably heard of this example. Facebook is like having 10 friends in the first 7 days. They have noticed, doing lots of data crunching, that if someone adds 10 friends in the first week, this person is really, really likely to stick to the product for a long time. This is like kind of logical, right? Because if you have like 5 friends on Facebook, how can you get the value out of Facebook? There is also Twitter with like you need to follow 30 people before having access to the core of the product, because otherwise you cannot understand Twitter. There's many examples like that, and so you really need to focus the onboarding on bringing them as soon as possible to the core value of your product, and having them understand why your product is so unique. The last goal can be, if you are still early stage and want to get a lot of feedback, tell them directly, hey guys, we're still building the application. We really want lots of feedback, so here is how you can bring us some ideas. So how do you teach the value of your product? It can be by showing. So like in the flow, this is really classic. It's an example of Google Translate. So like you just swipe screens and then you understand step by step how to use the product. You can also teach by doing. So like when people use your app, you explain at each step, okay, so when you swipe right on Tinder, okay, it means that you like the person. Left, same, okay. So this is also, I think I really like that mindset, because the person is already in the product and still the person is learning. Because it can be a bit frustrating, to have all these screens like that, so some people are really likely to skip it. So having it in the core of the product is something really valuable, I think. Then consistency. So when someone downloads the application, there is like some context. The person is going to download the application because they have heard about it from a friend who sent them a link. They have found it on another application. Now with deep linking, for instance, on Google Maps, there is like an icon, the icon of Uber, so you can use Uber from the Google Maps. There is like many apps that are starting to link them with each other, and offering a consistent experience is key if you want the user to really understand and like not to have a frustrating first experience. So use deep linking. For instance, for Facebook ads, really basically Zappos, instead of bringing you to the home of Zappos, they're gonna bring you directly to the product in Zappos, the product that you clicked on. Regarding like deep linking between apps, there is this app called Yumly where you have like recipes of meals, and really quickly they're gonna tell you because they have a partnership with Instacart. Instacart, it's like an app that enables you to get delivered food at your place. As they have a partnership, quickly from Yumly, you're gonna be able to download Instacart and then to have already the list of all the ingredients pre-filled on the application. So you're not landing on the home page of Instacart and then you have to do everything. So it's really smart, and this increases a lot the conversion rates. Now the last thing about activation, the golden minute, when I'm saying this is so key, is because I see so many apps that are asking me to send me push notifications while I don't know about them at all. Like you open the app, the first thing they ask, can you send me push notifications? No way. First, I want to understand why you want me to send me push notifications, and what is your app about. So so if you do that, and someone clicks on don't allow, this is what the person is going to have to go through if they want to reactivate the push notifications. It's like 5 screens, so they have to quit the app, they have to go to the settings, and then privacy, then they have to go to photos if it's a picture app. Well, it's terrible, so really don't mess with that. So now, like the trend right now to cope with this issue is that you're gonna explain and give some context when you're gonna ask for push notifications before pushing this iOS pop-up. You are gonna tell them, okay, so hey, you have sent invitations to your friends. Would you like to be alerted when they join? You click notify me, and then they push the native pop-up. And so this is an example, but you can also say, okay, so we want to send you push notifications to give information about that. Do you want to? Okay, you click yes, and then there is the native pop-up. This is something you cannot mess with, because then these push notifications are going to be key for retention. Okay, retention. So this is the real challenge for mobile. Um, like there is this guy, Benedict Evans. I don't know if you follow him. It's a genius of like everything mobile and Apple. He works for Mark Anderson Horowitz, the VC fund in Silicon Valley. And so he has this expression, mobile, it's like three taps in, two taps out. So it's really easy on a phone to download a mobile app today. Really, like you go to the App Store, research it, you download it super fast. But it's also super easy to get rid of a mobile app. It's not because someone has downloaded you that they're gonna keep you on the phone for like a long time. Because like you have application on your mobile, it means that this is taking storage. This is like something on your screen that you don't really want to see. Like people also need to get rid of apps sometimes, and so retention on mobile is a really big challenge. Just to give you a figure to support this fact is that like after 3 months, 65% of people are not gonna use your app anymore. So to prevent that from happening, as I told you on the onboarding, the goal is to find your aha moment. The aha moment is the first happy experience you're gonna find. Is the moment when the user is gonna understand why your application is so valuable. How do you find your aha moment? Because the concept is easy. How do you find it? This is way more complicated. So first, you need to isolate the most active users and to analyze the data to find, okay, the most active users have done something that the less active users haven't done. Then you do the same for less active users, and you compare with the most active users, and then you're gonna try to identify patterns. And for Facebook, what happened is that they realized, okay, so the most active users that have added 10 friends in the first week, and it's not the case of the people who left Facebook really soon. And so all the challenge with retention is that you're gonna try to encourage this active behavior. So today on Facebook, if you sign up, and you should try to sign up another time to understand how the onboarding works, it's really fascinating. When you sign up to Facebook, the first page of Facebook is so different from what you see today. They have built like a totally different product. And this product is 100% focused on having you add friends. So they're gonna find friends like from your Gmail account. They're gonna find friends from your IP address. They're gonna find friends like for any information, the location, and anything they can find. They're gonna use it to show you people to add. And like every day, you're gonna receive an email from Facebook asking you to add friends. And like they are focusing on this like all the time. As long as you have not become a really active user, they're gonna ask you to add more friends. So for retention, your weapons on mobile are basically like push notifications. This is something really big. How do you make a push notification work well? You need to be timely and personal. With timely, I mean it should appear at the perfect time. For instance, so the time is not only about like the time of the day, but also am I at my home? Am I at home? Am I at the office? Am I moving? This is information you can find from the data you collect, and this changes everything. Then be personal, meaning you need to segment your users based on the behavior they have had, based on information you have about them, the demographics, the location, predictive data even. I mean, if you are predicting that this user is very likely to churn, this user is really likely to leave your app soon, you need to send push notifications that are going to be dedicated to this specific user. And so I found this figure. I don't know where it comes from anymore, but so yeah, they say that push messages convert 3 times more often than user will receive generic notifications. So this is the data you can use to personalize these messages. And so here is like some examples of amazing notifications. So for instance, for a big fan of House of Cards, Netflix is going to send, okay, House of Cards season 2 is now on Netflix. There is this notification from United Airlines, so they tell you that your flight is today at 9:35 p.m. and then they like tell you that the gate has actually changed to C80. Waze, this is like predictive because Waze is an application, it's like kind of like a driving application, kind of Google Maps for driving, and they know that you're gonna you're gonna go to I don't know what it is, but I-280, probably I don't know, and they tell you that today it starts, the shutdown starts at 2 p.m. So this is like so valuable, and you see how valuable it is because like everyone shares. All these screenshots come from Twitter. All these screenshots are like screenshots of notifications that have been shared on Twitter because people really love them. So more than retention, it's also a key factor for people to love your product because you're gonna really you're gonna tell them, like push them really relevant information. Yeah, just to finish about push notifications. It's not because you have a mobile app that you, for instance, you should forget email. Email is like something really key today still, because like so many people are actually opting out of push notifications, especially on iOS. So build a strategy that is complementary with your push notifications on email. Something that I've done like for a client is that we we segmented our users depending on, we were predicting, okay, these guys are very likely to have opted out of our push notification system, so we're gonna send them emails instead of push notifications. And so you can, because you don't want to overload them at the same time, you know. But you can be smart about that, and you really should not forget email. Also, there is this new thing I've discovered about. I mean, it's not really new, but like to use it with a growth purpose, it's the badging. So having this red number on the app, this can be really powerful, actually. So Pinterest, for instance, they've done A/B testing on that, and they have A/B tested. Okay, what is the number we should put here? What this number means, and they actually found out that when there is a number, there is like 7% more active users than when you don't put any number, any badge. So this can be interesting to try, because like when you're a user, you see this red dot on your app, you really want to open it to get rid of it. Stupid, but it works like that. Now gamification. Gamification is like, it's old school now, but it's still working really, really well. Just your product should like be like playing a game. People should be always happy to open your product, and you can try to it's fine. So the king of gamification is Foursquare, and now like they even built an app specific to it. Swarm, yeah, that's the name. So Swarm, like it's an app from Foursquare. So like they split Foursquare into different apps. One app for location, which is still called Foursquare, and there is Swarm. And Swarm is all about, okay, you're gonna win badges, you're gonna check in here, and so you're gonna show that you are the person who goes the most to this restaurant in town, which is a trendy restaurant, So you're gonna compete with your friends, and this is like so stupid, but at the same time it's so human, Like you want to show your friends that you are the mayor of this place, and like you can think about like such mechanisms to implement on your product, because it can work really well. Then about habits. So there is a really interesting guy from also Silicon Valley, near AR, who like wrote this book called Hook, that explains to you how you manage to use psychology to engage your users, And so he has this theory about habits, how do you form a habit. You should read the book. I'm not gonna tell about it here, not much, but so when you are a mobile app, you cannot expect people to use it once every 2 weeks, once a month. I mean, mobile doesn't work that way. If you want to be a mobile app that's gonna stick to the phone of your users, it's something that should be used weekly or daily. But more than weekly, this is just not gonna work. So you need to look for daily active users. So there is this case study I found on the web about Shopkick. So Shopkick, basically, it's like coupons that you can use on stores when you go to a shop. They push you something telling you, hey, okay, so you can use this coupon to I don't know, to get a discount. The issue is that they realized actually most of their users didn't go shopping every day, even every week for some of them. And so actually users will download the app, use it once, use it twice, and actually they won't use it anymore because they won't catch the habit. So what did they do is that they built a feed of discounts in the app. And so it's a feed of discounts. You can collect discounts that you're going to use later. It's not core to the product, but this feed was a reason for people to open the app even when they were not shopping. So when they are in the train, I don't know, at work, anywhere, they can still use Shopkick. And so this was a great way to build a habit for these people to open the app. Okay, now virality. When you have a good acquisition model, when you have figured out how to activate your users, and when you have like a core user base which is really active, so you don't need more than a few hundred people. If you have like a few hundred people who use your app every day, every week, this is a really good sign, and this is the time when you can start scaling. This is the time when you can start really growing fast. And this is the time when you can start thinking of virality. So virality, first, of course, you should use your current user base. These are the people who love you. These are the people who use you every day. So referral, I took the example of Airbnb, but like so many apps are actually doing it. I think PayPal invented that with the $10 coupon if you refer someone. Today, like Uber works like that, Lyft works like that. I mean, so many apps are using this mechanism, and it works so well because it's so different when you see an ad than when you see when you receive a message from a friend telling you to use this product because it's really cool. About referral, so it's cool to use that, but you need to go a bit deeper and again personalize the experience of the people who are gonna use, who are gonna download the app from a friend. So this is something you can do with deep linking again. So you have like really cool tools, branch metrics, Yozio, that's enabled to personalize the onboarding. So from a text message to the App Store, they're gonna land on this homepage, which is like personalized based on the person who referred you to sign up to Airbnb. And they found out that thanks to this personalization, which is really a simple thing, they got 25% bookings, an uplift of 25% bookings. About context, so mobile is like really, really different from web. People on mobile don't use the same tools as they use when they're on desktop. And so I have this experiment, which I find really, really interesting. It's an experiment that was launched by Rooms. So Rooms is one of the so many apps launched by Facebook. Actually, Facebook is learning a lot on mobile, and all these apps, even if they don't work really well, the goal for them is not like to make huge successes from this app, but to learn a lot on how people use mobile products. And so it's because Facebook actually like was really late on mobile. You know, at first the app of Facebook was in HTML5, so it was really slow. And like Mark Zuckerberg, he says that the worst decision he took building Facebook was not to focus on mobile at first. So now you know they're launching all these apps, and Rooms was one of them. So Rooms didn't work out so much, but there was a very interesting experiment in Rooms. Is that if you wanted to, so Rooms basically is like private groups where you can talk about anything, and so yeah, you can have a room to talk about vintage cars. And if you want to invite friends to this room, you need to send them this weird QR code, and scanning it or like uploading it from the pictures of their phone, they're gonna be able to join the group. Like, why a QR code, right? Like QR code is like it's like so not trendy. It's like people, I don't know, people don't really know how to use it. It kind of sucks. I don't. Does anyone know why they use that? Do you have any idea? Yeah, you know because you saw my deck. No, I don't know. Okay, go ahead. No, no, no. It's kind of like it's weird. It's because It's because with rooms that were targeting a very young audience, so like teenagers, and today teenagers like they don't use Facebook, they don't use emails, they don't use like text messages, they use like Snapchat, Instagram, and on Snapchat and Instagram, if you want to put links, it's really complicated. What do you put? You put pictures. And so this is why they use QR codes, because it was just a screenshot you take from the app rooms, and then you can share it on Instagram, you can share it on Snapchat super easily, and it's like they're focused on the channel that people will use to share rooms instead of focusing on, I don't know, like what kind of link we should put. I found that really smart. So it did not work really well for Facebook, but today there is a really successful app that uses that. Do you know which one? So you're too old, guys. So it's Snapchat. Snapchat, if you want to add someone on Snapchat, you just have to put to open the Snapchat app and to tap, and thanks to the QR code, it's gonna add the person. So it's funny because Snapchat actually stole something from Facebook. Well, at first, Facebook tried to copy Snapchat. So yeah, I mean that's like a really interesting experiment. Like it's something you can, it's like something you can inspire from, and I really love the way how Facebook really empathize, like how Facebook put their shoes in the mindset of like teenagers who don't use Facebook at all, who don't share links, they just share pictures, and so it was intuitive to use that. It's interesting. So now about virality, something I'm really interested in is like how do you externalize your product to show it to people who don't have it yet. So yeah, the goal of that mindset is to bring the experience to non-users. How do you show how cool your product is to people who don't have it yet? So Tinder, for instance, they launched this matchmaker. They don't have it anymore, but I find the idea really interesting. Is that you could match friends on Tinder, and then they will get invites from Tinder. Hey, you have been matched by your friend with this person. Like, if you like the person, you're very likely to download the app and to check it out. So that was interesting. So there is another app called Blab. Blab is an app where you can share videos with friends really easily, and you don't have to have the app to see the video that a friend sent you. Blab uses the address book from your phone, and so they're gonna send a text message to your friend, and the friend's gonna click on the link, and from the link they're gonna be able to see the video, and at the end they can download Blab. So in the end, I know they pivoted, so I don't know if it worked so well, but I find interesting to try to bring as much as you can to people who don't know your product yet, to show them how cool your product is. It's also a strategy. It can also be a strategy not to tell much and like to keep some mystery, because you want them also to wonder, okay, what is this app about? I'm gonna download it and find out. Something really cool about that also that comes to mind is that Facebook, for instance, when you are tagged on a picture on Facebook, the notification you received is just like you have been tagged on a picture on Facebook. They don't show you the picture. They don't tell you who tagged you. They don't tell you anything about the picture. They just tell you because that you have been tagged. They could say a lot more, but they don't, because I'm sure they have tested that. When you have been tagged on a picture, you really want to know right now what is this picture? What the hell is this picture? So yeah, maybe sometimes it's also great not to tell much, to give some mystery, because it's gonna make people want to find out. A really successful app, which is starting to be successful, is Meerkat. Meerkat is a live streaming application, and so they during 2 months after they launched, they got 700,000 active users in 2 months. How did they do that? Is that they fully integrated in Twitter's social graph. So on Meerkat, basically you download the app, and then you start live streaming. So first you sign up with Twitter, then you start live streaming. When you start a live stream, it's gonna post a tweet on your Twitter page. I didn't even know that. It was a bit weird, but what happened next is just so great. So all my followers could have access to my live stream, and they could ask me questions even without having signed up on Meerkat, and ask questions immediately from Twitter. So there is my tweet, and then they reply to my tweet, and the questions appear on my live stream, and I can answer the questions in live, thanks to the Twitter integration. So this was really, really successful. And then Twitter even acquired the Periscope, which is kind of now getting more and more, which is kind of like competing with Meerkat a lot. And actually, they're getting better than Meerkat because there is lots of money and great people involved. But I really find interesting to see how you can piggyback. So it's this piggybacking. It's kind of the hack of using a network to grow from it a lot and like to really get a lot of users from an existing network. Okay, guys, so that's all for my presentation. If you want to, so I started a newsletter called mobilegrowth.launchrock.co, where I share like good tips and the best articles and tools for mobile growth marketing. Mobilegrowth.launchrock.co. And yeah, thank you for listening.
Yeah, you said we should contact people, right? There's a person to contact from the App Store.
Yeah.
So I know that there's a person per region.
Yeah.
What's the title of that person? It's like the developer contact?
No, it's not developer. It's like it's the App Store. It's kind of like App Store editorial team. App Store editorial team. Yeah. Yeah. And so they are used to receive many requests, but you need to insist a little bit and to show that there is a big potential out of your app, and to show them like some good screenshots, show that you have like something really sexy coming out, and usually you start a conversation with them. And now it depends how much you are related to them. If someone great introduced you to these people, so you can start getting some advice and stuff. Yeah. No, not so early. No, when you have like screenshots of the app to show, like some flows, and then they're gonna tell you, okay, so this is a bit. So yeah, they really don't want to trick users. So for instance, at Goodco we had something that would like send so many messages to so many people. We could like spam some users' friends, and they did not like that at all. So we got rid of it. Because we thought it wasn't the best option, and we really wanted to have a good relationship with them and to work, like hand in hand with Apple to get featured. But because this is like a game changer. Like because it's not only about like being at the homepage, it's also because like so I didn't talk at all about like App Store SEO and like more classic App Store optimization stuff. But for instance, on the Apple App Store, how many downloads you get in a week or in a month, or like on a period of time, this is like key if you want to rank high. So when you are featured on the homepage, you get so many downloads on a short period of time. So immediately when someone is gonna look for your app in the productivity app category, you're gonna be really very high thanks to that. So yeah, if you are launching an app and if you are happy with your UI and UX, this is mandatory. If you're happy with it, you should really get in touch with them. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so it should be the case. It should be the case. Was it clear? Yeah. 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 So I mean, for us, it was like in the US, so we only did US. But I know some friends in France who only do it with the French team, and then they get featured in the French App Store. Before launch, absolutely, yeah. I mean, you can be, you don't know. They're not gonna tell you, okay, you're gonna get featured like on this date. They just have a list of apps they are thinking about, and someday you're gonna find out that you are featured. You're gonna find that really quick if you look at your metrics. So yeah, specific to countries.
Any more questions? Well, on the Google Play, you can facilitate a conversation when on a review, so there's two-way traffic. On the App Store, that's not possible. If you have some tips on that, because if somebody's passing you with one-star reviews, then your app is not the.
Sorry, I don't get that.
Well, if on the iOS store,
Yeah.
if somebody gives you reviews, so you're getting a lot of one-star reviews,
Yeah.
you don't know who it is. On the Google Play, you can
Yeah.
facilitate the conversation, but
Yeah.
on the App Store, that's not possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed. But there is a few tricks. I don't put it on them, but if you will find it on my slide share, there is a few tricks because so first, even if you don't have the email address of the user for sure, there is this pseudo, like the pseudonym, yeah, the username. Sorry, yeah, username, and this is like mandatory. So with this username, you can do some stuff. For instance, you can if it's like I don't know if it's A Montcoudiol, I don't know, with such like naming pattern, you can look for like Montcoudiol on the user base and like on your database, and like, okay, is there some guy with like such last name? And then you get in touch with him and you create you have a conversation with this person. You can also look for the username on Google, and because you also know, for instance, like the country of the user who gave this review. So if you put the country or like the language related to this country with his username, maybe you're gonna find something. You can also know which apps this user has given reviews to. I know.
I found out somebody gave really weirdest username, but via Twitter, etc. I got his name.
So that's yeah.
I'm wondering, can I contact that guy because
Yeah, you should.
they're like really stupid username, so maybe he wants to be.
So no, you should. I think you really should get in touch with them. Like this is the main advantage of being a startup is that you can really create real links and relationships with your users because you don't have so many. You can like tell them, okay, hey, like I have seen a review. I'm really sorry about your bad experience. Know that we are working on this and then want to implement that to give you a better overview. And like, yeah, if you have other feedback, please send it to me to this email address. And like, some people are gonna react really positively. Some people are gonna remove their reviews because of that, and like even give you maybe good reviews. Like, hey, the product is not perfect, but the guys behind working on it are great people. So definitely get in touch with them. It's not always easy, but like sometimes it's just the first name and last name. As pseudonyms, and you can find them. There is like this last trick. So this is I know someone in SF who has done a lot of that. So yeah, it's the guy who founded App in the Air. It's called App in the Air. It's an application that helps you when you are at the airport, get a better experience. And they have even done something so they know which other apps have been reviewed by this specific user. And if you have, for instance, like ads like apps such as Snapchat or Twitter, you can even like download these apps and try if the username fits, add them, and start talking to them on that network. Really, he has done that. He has done that. It's crazy.
What tools do you use for A/B testing in apps?
So there is like Optimize. So we didn't. I'm pretty sure Optimizely now has a mobile version, which is Optimizely is kind of the leader of A/B testing. We didn't do A/B tests on our app when I was in SF, but the Optimize and Optimizely, check them out. Like they are the main products today to do that. Yeah. Are you talking about the fact that like on Google search now they're telling if there is an app for that? Yeah. Of absolutely. I mean, so you're talking about paid acquisition, right? To use the ads. Okay. I don't know specifically about that, but I mean, as if you're growing a product, you should explore the channels. You know, focus on a few channels, one like not one by one, but like three by three, and like try really hard on them. Try make sure that you have tried as much as you can before leaving, because otherwise you're gonna always think, oh, maybe I haven't tried enough. And yeah, try this channel too for sure. Lab, yeah. BLAB. BLAB. But they have pivoted, huh? It's different. It's a bit different today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Branch Matrix. Branch, amazing guys. I know them personally. Really, really great team. It's free. Like, great companies are already using them, like Hotel Tonight, Branch Matrix. Yes, attribution. Yeah, yeah. Branch Matrix is really great. They have the deep linking. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of the same technology. So you can also check Tapstream. Tapstream. Uh, yeah. Adjust? No. What is it? Same as branch matrix for attribution? I haven't heard of it. Yeah, there's many tools, I don't know, but yeah, it doesn't ring a bell. Is it from here? No, it's American. Okay. Does it adjust? Maybe it's from A/B testing. Je sais pas. Ça me dit rien. There's so many tools. I used Mixpanel. I use Mixpanel a lot. The only problem with Mixpanel is that when you start really growing, there is like some limitations to cross data really efficiently. But no, yeah, start with Mixpanel as a startup, yeah, for sure. Kissmetrics is also great. Mixpanel is my favorite because you can even like start sending emails from it, start sending notifications. So it's a good starter kit, I think. No, but you can. As a start, I mean, it depends on your budget and stuff, you know. But I know I've done consulting with 4 companies that started like fully on Mixpanel, and now they're using other tools. But to start with, it's great because it's only one tool to master, and it works pretty well.
What's your favorite tool to track what the users actually doing, how they're interacting with it?
Mixpanel, yeah, yeah, yeah. What is your app? Oh, this is the shopping app. Um so yeah, how can you use like push notifications in a smart way for an app? So her app is basically like Tinder for shopping. Um, I don't know, for instance, like if you have the location of the person, if the person goes close to a shop where an item she liked is can be bought. Maybe you can push notification here. I don't know. I need to think about it, but yeah. So you need to use like demographics data, location data, behavior data. So like there is many things you can do with all these layers. You know, like you're not gonna send the same notifications to someone who downloaded the app like 1 or 2 weeks ago, as someone who has been using your app for like 3 months.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have any questions? We're finding your
Yes. Yeah. So what you're gonna do? So for active users, first you're gonna find your most active user, your like 5 or 10% most active users, and then you're gonna study the everything that they have done during the first week. And so you can like build, so you can build like these cohorts of like, for instance, so right now I'm working at a startup in Paris, which is about video, television, and stuff. And so we're really thinking a lot about it. So for instance, what we're gonna do is that we are gonna measure how many videos have been seen during the first week of use by the most active users, by the medium active users, and by the the not active users anymore. And so this is how you can start finding correlations. It's just an idea we had, and so it's just an example. I don't. Do you have an app right now? Yeah. Do you want to tell us about it, or? Okay. So no, basically, yeah, you isolate the most active users, and then you're gonna during the first, you isolate the most active users, then you're gonna study what they have done during the first week. And so how many times they have opened the app, how many people they have added, how many times they have been to this screen, how many times they have, I don't know, done such action specific to the application, you know? And then, and so you compare that with the users you have lost, and then you see, okay, oh, there is a big difference here, and you're gonna start to understand the data. At first, if you don't want to go through such data mining, you can just really print physically the list of the events that happened during the first week for, like, let's say 100 users. And for each user, you know how engaged the user is. And then, like, your brain naturally is gonna identify, okay, so actually, I'm starting to see a pattern here, and like you can really print them out and put it down and like read them and like try to understand. Okay, so this is what happens. So you need to like set up the tracking really well to do that. But it's a tactic that I know some people are doing that, and it works pretty well. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, I don't. That's strange. Maybe it depends on the plan, no? Maybe it depends on the plan you have, no? Mm. Really weird. Really weird. So, so yeah, what is sure is that you cannot rely 100% on Mixpanel for your data. First, like anyway, you track raw data, and Mixpanel is on top of that. Okay? So you need to have like a database that as a marketer you're not gonna use, but a database where you have all the events tracked on the product. For such thing, this is key. I mean, and so if you are lucky, you have a data scientist in your team who can like then build from this raw data such information, like such like visual data visualization. But well, it's the first time I hear about this issue. Yeah.
Just if you could tell us your favorite keyword research tools, and if possible, you can tell us what you think about the using competitors' keywords.
Yeah.
What are your favorite tools for keywords?
So I have always used Tapstream. Yeah. It's a great tool. Regarding like using keywords of your like competitors, I mean, this is something I haven't done much. I mean, it's worth testing. it's worth testing, I think. And that should be the answer to everything anyway. Yeah, try it and like over a month and see. All right, guys.
Well, I love the presentation.
Thank you, guys.
Small gift for you.
Oh,
Creative book. I got it at the bookstore. One of my favorites.
thank you very much.
Hope you will enjoy it.
Thank you very much.